What's going on, YouTube? AlphonZeus of Team Gradelock here with another episode of Team Gradelock Unlocks Week. We're going to be going over the latest Cardfight Vanguard episode, Ride 186, as well as results from our local, and any more news that we have from Team Gradelock to you, our subscribers. Of course, if you haven't seen this before, we go into a spoiler alert, so please, if you haven't seen the episode, please pause or close the video, go watch that episode, and then come back right here so we can discuss about it. Of course, if you don't want to do that, please click on the link in the description down below, get right to the results of our local. So, Ride 186, Interrupted Sleep. This is probably one of the moments that we've been waiting for, and probably one of the good plot twist arcs of this entire season. Now that we are hot off the heels of Kai being able to defeat Galliard, and of course, coincidentally, we see Sarah come in and encase Galliard and Kai and Naoki in this little ice prison and completely betray the Quadrant Knights and, you know, say, screw these seals, I'm gonna wake you up right now. And of course, the thing that we've seen the last in the previous episode was Aichi and the reversed state. So this episode definitely serves as an explanation as to what actually is going on. And it seems rightfully so, especially when you're hot off the heels of Season 3, especially in the whole Link Joker invasion storyline. Well, you're back. Now that we're in this episode, Sarah goes complete balls to the wall against everybody. And just, okay, he released Aichi, and now it seems that the world's going to end. Because Aichi has been trying to seal himself away, because after he defeated Takudo, reversed, and defeated Kai as well, apparently they showed us a scene where Aichi got hit with one of the, I guess, I'll call it the Link Joker beams. And he ends up have this reverse presence within him. And it's been dawning on us when Sarah revealed that whoever defeats Link Joker ends up possessing that person. It seems that whoever is stronger, it just goes in and has, like, you know, the butler, Sarah, whatever. They're saying that no matter what, this Joker is going to take over the next big thing. And of course, at the end of Season 3, it just happened to be Aichi. And explains, especially the formation of the Quadrant Knights, what's going on, and why everybody was forgetting. Well, maybe not that part, but at least we know how Aichi ended up at this little sanctuary in the first place. And it serves kind of an interesting way because, you know, Aichi thought it was all going to be okay. He defeated Kai, Link Joker's gone, and, you know, everything is all back to normal. No, it turns out that he's been struggling with this, you know, with this reverse presence within him, and he doesn't want to let it dominate. Therefore, he would form the Quadrant Knights by literally going across the world to Rati, to Neve, to Sarah, to Galliard, and literally recruit them in order to help protect. And especially when it was explained to Naoki that, oh, we were looking for people that were better. And that just completely just nosedived, like, damn, Naoki, Aichi didn't approach you in the first place. Oh, and of course, before I move on, I do call Aichi Aichi because in Japanese class I end up having the whole, okay, I pronounce it as of each syllable, so Aichi, like that, because that's how at least the pronunciation of it goes about in basic hiragana. So forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it right. Of course, people like say Aichi. I just go like Aichi, just kind of like be proper. And when we see Aichi step off of his throne, first thing that he does, especially when Korin tries to go, boom, like he just kind of like just slaps her away, knocking her out unconsciously. And the thing that he can do that was just whoop. It's kind of crazy to think what else can this reverse Aichi be capable of. And this episode definitely proves it to be even in a crazier fashion. Because now, Galliard is trying to use his flame. They're trying to break free. Naoki ends up almost breaking his fan because he tried to punch through it. And there's nothing really going on that can really help them in that situation. And it's just a really sad day when you have to accept the fact that this is not how I would have seen this episode, or at least this whole arc of the season, to conclude. Because looking at just how powerful this is, especially in the terms of where Aichi is right now, it's just mind-boggling. Because Aichi's like the main character, and now you figure out that he's actually trying to steal him away, and I guess there was sufficient reason enough, because I guess if everything was back to normal before the whole, everybody forgets who he was, the world probably would have been a different place. A very, very different place. And fact is that when Aichi was just, it seems like he was just, of course, it's interrupted sleep. He was just getting awake. Alright, Corn, out of the way. I'm just gonna, be a total badass and go out. And what does Sarah do? After he lets Aichi, I guess, wake up, he immediately retreats back, and then the first person he runs into is Neve. And he goes to Neve and he says, like Neve, yeah, Kai defeated Galliard. He did it. I don't know how. He broke the seal. Naoki defeated me, and whatever. And it like he just completely feigned injury that Neve completely fell for that. Because, of course, he's one of the Quattro Knights. He was chosen by Aichi for a reason, and therefore he would have reason to trust him. Unfortunately, that isn't the case, because Neve completely goes, like, chivalrous as, how should I call this little duo? Like, Sarah Butler, Butler Sarah, whatever you want to call it. And he would just be chivalrous and go help Aichi try to help him snap out of it. So he goes, and then camera switch, he goes to Rati, and she goes, what's going on? She goes into the same maze complex that both Naoki and Kai have gone through, especially within the past couple episodes, that, okay, you go straight in the hallway closes, and then you see another pathway open. And now Rati's concerned. And although that the Rati can be a bit concerned, I honestly enjoyed that, to be honest, because I was sick of seeing the whole chant. I really hate the chant. And seeing how Neve was confidently overcoming, and how not only Kamui, but Misaki and Miura as well falling to the Quattro Knights in that fashion. It just sucks. I wish that judgment would be cast upon those three. And luckily we get to see one of those, with Galliard. Well, back to the episode. Neve actually manages to catch up, and of course, Kai, Naoki, and Galliard, they're stuck in this ice prison. And Neve, apparently, I guess he doesn't see the ice prison because he's so focused on trying to save Aichi. He goes over, he sees him, and he ends up going, alright, I'm going to snap you out of it. And Korin actually wakes up and say, alright, what in the world is happening? It's like the apocalypse. It's the worst case scenario that the Quattro Knights could ever hope to not happen. And especially when you see this little action right here. Now this right here, this is Aichi using judgment. And this judgment, he doesn't even say it, he doesn't even try it. It's just, bam, I got you. So you already know how Aichi is powerful just from that motion right there. It completely says, alright, the Quattro Knights have their judgment, but I don't even need to say anything. Just like, and knocks Neve halfway across the room. I thought he would get knocked out by that, but apparently not. And so it's then that we see Neve being maybe the last hope that we have in order to save Aichi from his reverse self. And it's just that Korin, when she looks on in such dismay, such pessimism, you know Aichi's gonna just stomp him out. It's inevitable. And seeing the Link Joker and the match startup in particular, very, very interesting. So seeing Aichi, on the outside it's looking like, hey, please save me, Neve, please save me. On the inside, it's, I'm gonna kill you so bad, it's not judgment, it's execution. And probably one of the most interesting starts I've seen to Cardfight Vanguard in the whole season, maybe the series, maybe, is that when Neve goes first, he rides, and then Aichi goes and rides, attacks, whatever. But what we see next, we see Neve actually perform a superior ride, kind of like what you've seen with the D-Robos, from grade 2 to grade 3. Therefore, Aichi is stuck at grade 1, and Neve is already on grade 3. And not only he does that, he legions on top of that. And, whoa. You can instant legion. Of course, you lose, 3-4 cards. But, boom, you have a Legion Vanguard ready to go, and Aichi's still on grade 1. This is pretty broken, and I think a lot of people would love, and I mean love, to see this happen. It's just too much. It's, I guess, a crazy advantage, because now Neve gets to go through 2 drive checks. Not just 2 drive checks, though. 2 twin drive checks. So he's going to have more cards in his hand. Hopefully Aichi's not going to just trigger sack and get heals and draws and regain the advantage that, you know, he once lost. By the time he rides grade 3, it's going to be over. And it seems that Neve has this in the bag because, of course, with the Metalborgs, with the Glory effect, criticals, all that good stuff, let's just see how this all plays out. And we see the match end there. I do like this episode, how it leaves us a little bit on a cliffhanger. I have a bad feeling that Neve will lose. I haven't seen the preview to the next episode, of course, but I do predict that Neve is probably going to lose this. And maybe he'll get Judgment, or maybe he'll get Reverse Judgment, so we'll see kind of like a Reverse Legion or a Reverse Crossride in some way, and it seems like they're all going to be back. Except this time, maybe it's going to be without the Lord restriction, as we've seen in quite a couple of the episodes of the season that display these Legion units, especially with the Perfect Guards that are not clan specific. Now this episode though, I think it's going to go downhill from here. It's probably going to go downhill, it's probably going to just go really at it, and of course Sarah and the Butler are just sitting back, watching this whole fiasco take place, and of course, unlike the other 3 Quattro Knights, Sarah is just all, I'm good, I'm rich, I don't even need to do anything. While the other 3, Gallia, Neve, and Rati, were all, oh my goodness, all my friends and everybody I love is reversed. What do? Aichi saved me. Sarah seemed like the odd man out, especially when he lost first to Naoki. But realizing all of this now, kind of get to see that probably Sarah would be the backstabber out of all of this. The other 3 are definitely too loyal, and including Rati, she would be the last one I would expect to actually betray anyone at all. And that's it for the episode. If you have any comments or if I missed anything in the episode that requires attention, feel free to pop it up, call me out, get a conversation started. And now let's get right to the results of our role. So to start things off, we had the Friday Tag Team Cardfight Vanguard tournament at Game On, and I entered with Alex. I was using the Prisms of Bermuda Triangle in honor of the Divas Duet Sneak Peek, and Alex was running the Jewel Knights of Royal Paladin. So we could call it Team Waifu, but Alex thought that I was running the D Police, so he sticked it to Gems and Lasers. First game we went up against CK and Ian. CK running Novell and Ian running Chaos Breaker. Link Joker. So I went up against Ian because I was like, alright, cool. I feel like I have a better matchup with the Vanguard pressure. But I lost to double crit at 6 damage. I literally was going through my head when Ian was attacking. I was like, alright, double crit and we lose. No guard. First check crit. Just making the noise on this cushion right here. Just okay. Second check crit is like, I am so sorry. I had 2 perfect guards in hand. I could have done something, but I'm like, nope, I'll take it. Why not? And double crit. Second game we went up against Otto and one of the new kids that showed up at our local. New kid was running Link Joker. It was usually a trial deck with some support, and Otto was running the Ball Cougars. I went up against Otto. We won because Alex was able to get his numbers in, especially with getting the advantage of the Link Joker player. He really didn't have many rear guards to attack with. He had on some turns just only attack with his Vanguard because he ended up guarding a lot. But I took quite a beating from Ball Cougar. Oh dear, just hit and stand, hit and stand. I'm gonna gain power too. Hit and restand. It's just, I completely underestimated what Ball Cougar's potential is, and I got hit, but thankfully, which is quite sackingly so, I got triggers out the ass when I got damage checked and when I did my twin drive when I attacked with Labrador and Bert. So we won there. Third game we went up against Jenna and Joe L. Jenna was running Dauntless, and I think it was like Dauntless and Kageros. I don't know. I was really expecting to see Novell in theirs. And Joe is running Revengers. Alex is facing Joe, and I was facing Jenna. They both got Gradelocked. Joe got Gradelocked at 0 for a few turns, and Jenna got Gradelocked at 2 for a couple turns. And, you know, Alex and I were like, we really don't want to win like this. We really, really don't. And they were at least making a comeback. They were keeping us at, you know, 3 damage because they don't want us to go for limit break. They're attacking rear guards and stuff. But that's the thing, because when you still attack their Vanguard, they're taking damage that they could have been blocking for. But I did understand their strategy. They didn't want to hit limit break because especially Ashley and with Labrador with the crits, you really want to take it easy. And seeing that strategy there, I totally understood it. And so we won that one. It was kind of like unjustified. Then, fourth game, we ended up going against CK and Ian again. This time I faced CK and Alex faced Ian. We tried our best with blocking and locking, but I think the key misplay for me was that not allowing to get the fourth damage, because we were going completely aggro. That we didn't want CK to hit Nobel Break Right, and we didn't want Ian to go Chaos Breaker. We weren't able to do that because if I managed to get in the crit earlier, I probably would have been able to say, alright, you have to drop perfect guards now, or else it's going to happen later, and then that's how we ended up taking that. Well, not taking, we lost that match. We really couldn't do it much because when CK, we damaged like 2 of his Novels. He had 1 in hand, he drew it, and he broke road, and I had to take it. Hope to God I don't get a crit because we were at 7 damage. He didn't get a crit, but he got a draw, and then I damage checked a heal trigger, which unfortunately fizzled and didn't even work at all. So he lost on that merit. Then the 2 top teams were actually Arturo and Jason and CK and Ian. So it was good to see Team Gradelock topping both times for first and second place. And how Arturo was able to apparently magically make people Gradelocked or get triggers. Even though that some of it's like you're really doing overkill right now, man. I don't know. But that's the result. So okay, good to see Team Gradelock take both spots. On Saturday, the Divas Duet sneak peek. This was probably the most depressing sneak peek I have ever been to in my entire life. We didn't even have enough for a draft tournament. We just did the $20 sneak peeks and hope to God we pulled something. Fortunately for me, I pulled at least 1 holo in every pack. Some people weren't so lucky. I know that Rob, he was really looking forward to the Bermudas. He had 3 different $20 sneak peek packs that were all duds, and I felt really bad. But fortunately, he managed to get recovered that he had 2-3 holos in the next couple packs that he bought. So good to see him on that. Now, to see what happens next, we ended up having a buddy fight tournament after. We had this whole the hours that went from the sneak peeks for both Yu-Gi-Oh! And Cardfight Vanguard. I was not able to enter the Yu-Gi-Oh! Sneak peek because they sold out by the time I got there. So I was really upset. I wanted to try out the Yang Zings. And the Cardfight Vanguard, I was pulling stuff. But of course, Arturo wanted the white. I was thinking, alright, I'll take black then. We were literally doing trade white to black and stuff like that. And, it was pretty funny seeing that. But on that notice, I actually ordered the Arya the Black Art Perfect Guard sleeves, and I ordered 2 extra boosters. So we will be doing a box opening as well as the pizza box opening, because Arturo actually dropped $130 to get the a whole sneak peek pizza box, and we're gonna put up that video sometime this week. In terms of what's gonna happen next, we got a buddy fight tournament after. There were I think 6 people that actually entered. I was running the turrets of Dungeon World as usual. First game, I go up against Arturo. He was running Ancient World. I was literally trying to rush down Arturo. Really bad. Because seeing Ancient World, especially the Buddy Seeger, I had to do something. I had to get rid of Seeger no matter what. And unfortunately, he had all the cards usual to prevent Seeger from being destroyed. I was trying to do my Justice Hammers. He was like, nope. Soul Guard. I was trying to do, the Rolling Stone when I sided in for game 2. He had it as well, so I couldn't really do much about that. And then I lost because I wasn't able to overcome that. And Pillar of Fire was useless because, Seeger normal has a defense of 7,000. It seems that he's really making the switch, and I like it because, it's like he's always one step ahead of the meta. When he started out with Magic World, switched to Dungeon World, and then Ancient World, it's like the trio of the type of, it's like the circle of life in terms of trading card games. You start out with a really, really draw-heavy, just, toolboxes, use your spells. Alright, what's better than that? Alright, go Dungeon World, because you have continues. You have stuff to just keep reviving stuff off the field for very little cost, and you can recover quite easily. And then what counters that? You have Ancient World. You have this big-ass monster, and you literally have nothing to do against it, especially when you have Prevent Destruction covers and stuff like that. Pretty cool. Second round, I went up against Joe L. He was running Katana World, the Skull Warriors. But he actually had some new support with his deck. He managed to get the negate attacks and, you know, nullify spells. He beat me. I was unable to do much because he had the cards where, you know, oh, I play size 1, boom. Size 1 on the field, alright. Destroy that monster, take 2 damage, I get it. It's either to my hand or the field, correct me if I'm wrong. And he just controlled the flow. I was nervous to play any cards because after seeing especially the nullify attack, the nullify spell, like seeing that one card fizzle, it just caught me because I'm like, okay, I have to be more wary. I can't just, you know, throw out counter spells and stuff like that for days. I have to really just, okay, what am I gonna do here? And that led me to being too overcautious to try and get, you know, a full field in, and that lost me the game. But it was a very, very good game. I wasn't able to destroy the underworld gates because he was able to keep reviving his size 1s, and he was using Into Darkness a lot more efficiently because I wasn't able to recover. Even after I used my cards, he was still drawing cards from his hand. Well, especially when I try to do Divine Protection Salsana, which is a nullify attack, he's still like, alright, so attacks nullify, but of course retire, I'll draw 1. He keeps getting that card advantage. Third game, I went up against Alex. I let him borrow my Dual Dragon deck from, you know, Danger World, and he gave me the win. But he wanted to play with the Dungeon World hybrid deck that Arturo we featured in the deck profile, and he beat me both times because he just continues. Every time I try to get him down, continue. Boom. Just completely blown up, and I couldn't do much about it, especially with the tears. I had removal, he just had revival, and that's pretty much the counter to all that. When I try to use resources to destroy, revival just pretty much says, F you, and I'm going to get this back and get more attacks. But I went 1 and 2, even though that I should have went 0 and 3. The two people that topped there I know were Arturo and Dex. Arturo with Ancient World and Dex with Dungeon World. I think Arturo managed to take it over Dex because he just had Seeger and he had the prevents. He was able to lose life and gain life freely without even worrying about, oh, that's not going to hit me or this guy's staying on the field. He is. And that's all the tournament results that I can remember for so far. As far as the rest of the news goes for Team Gradelock, we're going to put the pizza box opening. I'm going to have a new match for you guys, whether it's casual series or maybe something a little bit more on the pro side. We're trying to do that maybe Wednesday or Thursday, so we'll have a matchup then. And then we also have news for the upcoming regional in Albany, New York. If you don't already know, I'm actually taking an LSAT class for the LSAT exam in September. And the classes are on Saturdays and Sundays. Unfortunately, I have classes on Sunday, so I will not be able to do the whole, I can't participate in Buddy Fight and Waste Sports, but I will be able to participate in Cardfight Vanguard. Henry, I think he probably has some news whether he's going to be either vending for Tourwiz or vending for himself. I know that a lot of us at Team Gradelock, although that we have seen the round 0 rule, and although we have seen the 3-hour drive, at least from New Jersey, all the way to Albany, and of course for some people that live in southern New Jersey, it's a lot worse. I think we'll end up still going for a day, because getting participation mats, that's a whole different issue, because we were getting, like, you know, deck boxes, promos, etc. Yeah, that's pretty cool. When you throw in a free mat in there, that's actually taking it a whole step further, and I don't know if we can justify the round 0, because after what happened that last team week, it was definitely something that we need to try and get a little, you know, little something. Because if there's anything to suggest, please pre-register as soon as possible, and maybe the round 0 will be less harsh, because at least it would encourage people to pre-reg over those who are registering the day of, because what I would rather do is that I would rather pre-register, and since it's free, you don't have to worry about giving any, you know, credit card information or paying anything up front. You just pre-register, you show up, you go it, and you're good. Those who register on the day of, I don't know why, maybe if it's, you know, you don't know if you're actually going to be attending and you just went last minute, I can understand that, but the round 0 should be reserved for them. If you disagree with me, feel free to comment down below as to why you think, or, you know, what are your thoughts on round 0 in particular. Because since New York was the infamous regional that we had last year, And a lot of people, especially on the Facebook groups, they were kind of saying, I really hope Round Zero doesn't take place in our regional. And Bushiroad even announced, an apology following that. And I just hope that they will learn their lesson this time, and maybe the venue will be bigger, and maybe we'll have more time. Because, I know Bushiroad wants to make these free tournaments, but still, you gotta keep in mind that your card game is very, very big. You have a very big community. It's a growing and fast-growing community, and after the missteps at Round Zero at Team League, that's pretty much a dent, but you're still going, and that's great. I just strongly suggest see what other options you have outside of the Round Zero. That's all I can say. I don't have any solutions myself. If I do, I'll feel free to make another video about it. Aside from that, in terms of the Team Gradelock news, we're still going to be going in for matches. The Domino Paris video, probably going to be pissed. We didn't even complete that. We're going to see what we can do for Friday or Saturday. If we can, that would be amazing. That would be awesome. If not, I feel like the next time I'm going to run into Domino Paris, he's probably going to slap my face. Because it's already been a couple months since that Team Week, and we still haven't done the channel spotlight, which probably could have helped out the channel a bit more. Until that time, though, feel free to share these videos with your friends that play Cardfight Vanguard or Buddy Fight or even Yu-Gi-Oh! We do have content for at least 2 of those. Yu-Gi-Oh! Not so much, especially with some of our members. We do have a few members that still stay faithful to Yu-Gi-Oh! Although some of them are like, I'm sticking with Vanguard and Buddy Fight and Wage Force, whatever the case may be. I'm pretty open to the fact that we can still expand the channel. And, it's going pretty well so far. After I monetize the videos, I'm really hoping to really take it to another level, really getting in there and, just showing that, hey, Team Gradelock, we're at 59 episodes already. We have a set thing. We have, at least a set schedule of what video content to put up, as well as any updates we have for you guys. I think the only things we're missing is that we should probably make a Facebook page, and we should probably learn how to run the Facebook page efficiently so that we can gather likes and stuff like that. In terms of giveaways, I have a broke budget. I can't really give away stuff. Henry, I'm not sure. He's been working 3 jobs, as he said in his trade binder videos. And I'm not sure if any of the other Team Gradelock members would like to do giveaways as well, especially when we don't have jobs. Well, not current, because some of our members of Team Gradelock are still in high school, others are in college, and some of us are just trying to find jobs. Aside from that, that's it for this week's episode of Team Gradelock Unlocked Week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I do apologize. It really looks a lot longer than a usual episode, but we did have a lot to discuss, especially in terms of both the episode as well as the local results. And that's it for me. I'm your host, AlphonZeus. I hope that you all will have a great week that I've unlocked for you, and take care, guys. See you later.